Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for April 10, 2024, ex-soldier accused of stealing rental car remanded. Former Jamaica Defense Force soldier Ricardo Dakers, who is charged for failing to return a rental car, was remanded on Tuesday in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Dakers is charged with larceny of a motor vehicle. On Tuesday, he was provided with legal aid after the court was told that he was unable to secure a lawyer. He is to return to court on May 11, when the case will again be mentioned. The court heard allegations that Dakers rented a Toyota Voxy motor car on March 11 for 3 days. Upon expiration of the contract, he reportedly failed to return the vehicle. The complainant allegedly made numerous attempts to contact Dakers, which proved futile. As a result, a report was made to the Spanish Town Police and an investigation was launched into the matter. Dakers was subsequently apprehended by the police, but the vehicle was not recovered. He was later charged after a question and answer session. Drunk plane passenger fined $10,000 for bad behavior. A British woman who got drunk and caused a ruckus on a plane after her request for more alcohol was denied was fined $10,000 by the St. James Parish Court on Monday. The judge's ruling came after a strenuous defense by the woman's lawyer, including a suggestion that it might be prudent to refrain from serving alcohol aboard aircraft. Gemma Anderson, 37, of London, England, pleaded guilty to behaving in a disorderly manner on an aircraft, a violation of the Civil Aviation Act. Anderson, who was represented by attorney at law Marisa McCready, pleaded guilty to the charge before presiding judge Acacia Grant Price. According to court records, on April 6, an officer was directed to Gate 17 at the Sangsar International Airport in response to reports of a drunk and unruly passenger who had caused a commotion on a Virgin Atlantic flight from London. When the officer arrived at the gate, he had a conversation with both the flight captain and the purser. The purser pointed out Anderson, claiming that she was hurling insults and using profane language on the plane after he refused to serve her any more alcoholic beverages. It is reported that Anderson stood up from her seat, flung her hands in the air, and began shouting and swearing. For safety reasons, the purser requested assistance from Virgin Atlantic Operations Road Services for the aircraft to be landed. Anderson was taken to the police station, and when cautioned, she reportedly asked, "Am I going to jail?" She continued, "I was only singing Rihanna's song loudly. I didn't do anything else." After being cautioned again, she reportedly stated, "This is not entirely true. I just had one drink." In mitigation, Anderson's attorney stated that his client was gainfully employed and has no previous conviction. He explained that she simply had a few drinks and got carried away. It was never her intention to cause any trouble on the island or on the plane, and she was looking forward to a useful short vacation with her friend. She is very remorseful and accepts full responsibility, McCready stated. The attorney also informed the judge that his client had assured him that she would be extra careful about how much she consumed in the future, and requested that her actions on the day in question not to be used against her. However, Grant Price expressed concern about the prevalence of these incidents, particularly among passengers from England. Bad behavior induced by alcohol does not make the crime less serious. You are lucky to have landed. Usually we send back some passengers on the same flight they arrived on, the judge said, before ordering Anderson to pay a fine of $10,000 or serve 10 days in jail. 19-year-old slapped with attempted murder charge in Clarendon. A 19-year-old laborer of Orange River in Clarendon has been slapped with several charges, including attempted murder stemming from a March 31 incident in the parish. Charged with attempted murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, using a firearm to commit a felony, and unauthorized possession of ammunition is Courtney Lewis. Reports from the Mapen police are that at about 4 p.m., a man was at home when Lewis and another man allegedly opened a gunfire at him. In an effort to escape, the complainant ran but was reportedly chased and shot several times. He was subsequently assisted to the hospital where he was admitted for treatment. Lewis later turned himself into the police, where he was charged after being positively identified. His court date is being finalized. CTOC uncovers a counterfeit engine oil operation in Clarendon. Members of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch on Tuesday seized more than $10 million worth of counterfeit engine oil in Maypen, Clarendon. Deputy Superintendent Victor Barrett, head of CTOC's Intellectual Property Unit, told the news that one man was taken into custody in connection with the illegal operation. The operation was conducted at a premises on Muirhead Avenue in the parish.
We conducted a certain line of investigation and it brought us to this establishment. On close inspection, we discovered 4 containers, and out of the 4, there were 3 containers laden with counterfeit engine oil. And I stress counterfeit engine oil because from our enforcement operations, persons are of the view that we only enforce clothing, shoes, bags, pharmaceuticals. But we are here now looking at motor oil, which by itself is bad. It is not also a breach of the trademark of Chevron's trademark, but it is something that will harm your engine, because buying counterfeit oil, it doesn't contain the viscose, right? An element that allows the oil to moisture your engine. So the viscosity is of no moment. So what it does is that your engine might overheat, might eventually explode. So buying counterfeit engine oil by itself is not a good thing for you as consumers, and not for anybody.
Discriminatory. The Commissioner of Police has sought to lay to rest the speculation about the agenda behind the elimination of gender-specific references within its ranks. Responding to a question from the media, Dr. Kevin Blake said he had not heard a reporter being referred to as a woman reporter, and that the distinguishing factor in the rank is discriminatory. It did not make sense, and it still doesn't make sense, and we removed it for that sole purpose, he insisted. Dr. Blake said there is no other security force referring to female officers as a woman constable or corporal.
It did not make sense, and it still doesn't make sense, and we remove it for that sole purpose. I've been tracking comments and interest that people have around this issue and ascribing several theories to it. Our neighboring security partner, the JDF, doesn't refer to its members as woman corporal or woman private or woman lieutenant. And even in the JCF, once you reach the level of the officer corps, you're not referred to as woman deputy superintendent. So it's just a matter of common sense. And that's the only agenda that was behind the removal of the name.
Man charged for pulling gun on his mother remanded. A man accused of pulling a gun on his mother during a disagreement was remanded in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Tuesday. Doral Chinook of Salter Springs, St. James, is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and assault at common law. The case was transferred to the gun court for mention on April 26. Allegations are that on March 29, the accused was in Above Rocks, St. Catherine, when there was a disagreement between him and the family members. He reportedly brandished a gun, which he allegedly pointed at his mother while swearing at her and other relatives. The matter was reported to the police, and an investigation led to his arrest. He was subsequently charged. 5 charged for alleged abuse at Atlantis Leadership Academy offered bail. All 5 men who have been charged with the alleged abuse of children at the Atlantis Leadership Academy in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, have been offered bail. 23-year-old Damian Herrera of Gordontown in St. Catherine was charged Tuesday morning with assault occasioning bodily harm, cruelty to a child, and assault at a common law. He and his 4 co-accused, 39-year-old Edison Morris, 51-year-old Courtney Wigan, 30-year-old Odin Maxwell, and 33-year-old Carson Cox, who were similarly charged last Friday, were each offered bail in the sum of $200,000 with a surety. As a condition of their bail, the men have been instructed not to make direct or indirect contact with the facility. Attorney Dirk Harrison, who is representing the men, on Tuesday requested a copy of the station diary and other documents relating to his client's cases. The case file is incomplete as the court is awaiting several outstanding statements. Mr. Harrison also requested a gag order in the matter, but this was rejected by the judge. The men are due to return to court on May 13. On February 8, 8 American teenagers were removed by the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency after signs of abuse and neglect were observed during an unannounced visit. Atlantis Leadership Academy, an American-owned facility, advertises itself as a faith-based school serving teens struggling with substance abuse, anxiety disorders, and defiant behavior. According to NBC News, the Academy's founder and director, Randall Cook, in a statement on Monday, said the facility was appalled at the hatchet job that is being done to its reputation and denies all the allegations that have come after more than 8 years in operation. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake, in responding to whether or not the operators of Atlantis Leadership Academy, who are not Jamaicans, will be charged, said the investigation continues. All persons who are of interest in that investigation obviously will be spoken to by the investigators. I wish not to say more at this point, but just to say that the investigation is ongoing and that in very short order we'll be able to give you more on that.